Welcome back to the Giant Rugby League Show, episode 5 today. Again, we'll be reviewing round 2 of Super League and previewing round 3. And we'll also be looking at the Giants' home loss to Wakefield Trinity. So we'll start off by talking about Wakefield today against the Giants. Obviously, 18-16 loss. Did look like a different side in the last 15-20 minutes. What were your thoughts on the game?
I don't know where to start, really. I thought first 10 minutes we were causing his own troubles, not completing, poor discipline.
Yeah.
And then we kind of slowly settled into the game. I don't think Wakefield blew us away at any point during the game. That being said, obviously, we weren't up to the standards. The defence were a bit leaky at some times. I mean, it's only the second game into the season, but we want to be starting to pick up them wins. Obviously, the newly promoted sides have got the points on the board, and I think the overall riding factor of the loss is that we need to pick up 2 points on Friday night.
Yeah.
Us against Castleford are the only 2 teams I think now in the Super League. Bar obviously, I think Hull KR, but they played the game less. So are the only 2 teams who haven't picked up a point. So that'll be interesting to see how we get on.
I think one thing from kind of going there and watching it live, I think one thing you do notice is that with the new kind of rules of the speed of the play of the ball and stuff like that, I think once you're a side that's on top, you're a hard side to stop, because once those play the balls really quickly, or there's a penalty and there's another repeat set, I think it seems like all of us, it seems a bit like panic stations at the back, because it looks like it's very hard to defend against.
Yeah, I think what you're saying now is that once you get the momentum, it's hard for the other team to break it.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of the speed from the way the forwards are coming through, because that's one thing in the last 15 or 20 minutes, you looked at us and you thought,
we just seem to have the ball all the time.
Yeah, there were a lot more speed around the ruck. The runners that were coming onto the ball seemed to be going at a lot more pace. It were a lot better quality in the last 15 or 20 minutes, which is promising. It is something, obviously, we can take into the next game, but you've got to right them wrongs from the first 60 minutes and look at it and say, yeah, we finished the game well, but let's learn from them first 60 minutes of what not to do. We need to be getting the momentum. We need to be getting our forwards going, because there were certain points in that game where Wakefield were chewing up yards for fun.
Yeah.
I thought I know we finished quite close, but if their kicker had his boots on, then it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
So, I just think we need to improve.
Yeah, we definitely need to improve. Obviously, I think, again, Hal Saul, really another strong performance from him. I think so far, obviously, I know it's only 2 rounds in, but I think as far as the Giants are concerned, I think we can look at him and go, do you know what, he's really perked up in the off-season and he looks really good. And then, obviously, Billy just got man of the match, and as you said on the clip after we finished the game, he stood out by a mile, and it was clearly the best game he's had in the Giants shirt.
I'm just literally just taking the words out of my mouth. I think that's the best I've ever seen him play in a Giant shirt. He will doing what we wanted him to do last year. He was running in, there was some force. He looked a lot leaner, he looked fitter and stronger. And when he was going in, he was doing what he used to do for the South Sydney, and when he's been in the England squads before, he were a handful to take down.
Yeah.
And that helps you obviously build the momentum, like we were mentioning before, getting the quick play of the balls, tiring the opposition defence. So that, for me, is a very, very big positive to take away from that game. Like you say, how he scored that try.
Fantastic finish.
Really, really good finish. And Burgess obviously coming in with that power, and obviously hopefully he can kick on next week and just put another performance in similar.
Yeah, definitely. I also think I think what helped this week is we kind of had that balance with, you had Fenton Rodgers playing, and then Fenton Rodgers came off, Burgess went on. Burgess came off, Rodgers went on, and we always had that one player. Yeah, Rodgers, he's not pretty on the eye, but he's a big guy that always takes 3 or 4 men in a tackle, and it just creates that speed of the ball.
Sorry to do that. He's effective when he goes forward. He's effective. He does the hard work, and he loves to tackle as well. I think he flies out in defence.
Flies out the line, doesn't it?
Flies out in defence. Loves to get a tackle in, and like you say, he's effective. He does what you want the prop to do. You're taking 2, 3, 4 bodies. it's going to tire him out. And obviously, like you say, the rotation of having him and Burgess constantly going at it is only a good thing to tire out them teams with the bigger packs that we're going to face coming up.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously, looks like Greenwood and Rushton have joined the injury bench now, so we've got quite a few on there with Evalds, Clune, Sutcliffe and Swift as well. So yeah, from 2 weeks ago, we were sat here all sunshine and roses. We look unbelievable. We're as fit as anything. It just shows how quickly that can change.
Yeah, and one thing I won't dwell on is the fact that, and I've said this to you numerous times, obviously, when we've not been filming, rugby league is a tough sport and injuries do happen. So we cannot necessarily blame the fact that it's the Giants or anything like that. I mean, there's other teams who've suffered big injuries.
Yeah.
I think for us this year is that we can't use that as an excuse.
No.
We have to push on now and crack on with it, essentially. Yeah, we've got injuries. Thankfully, they're not big injuries yet. I mean, 6, 8, 10 weeks. But there's clubs, Hull, that we might touch on later, losing Will Price for the season. Castleford have lost one of their new recruits. They've lost him for the season.
Yeah.
So obviously Wilson at Wigan. So there's other teams that are suffering it.
Absolutely.
And they're having a lot longer injuries. The only thing I can take positive out of it is that, 6, 8, 10 weeks, we're going to have hopefully back up to a full squad, and then players will be able to integrate in and add some real strength to the team.
Yeah, then obviously touching on that kind of going into Friday's game against Cass, obviously it's a huge game for both sides now. You just don't want to be that. You don't want to be that on the side that's sat on no points. So yeah, touching on that kind of what. After reviewing on Sunday, after having to think about it in the last 48 hours, kind of what would you be looking to change, or would you be looking to change anything?
I wouldn't be looking to. All I want to change is how we start the game. Get that control a little bit earlier. We looked good. I mean, I've watched back some bits of it, and Tuilagi looks really good for the try that he puts Flanagan through, which cuts across, nice little drop off. Flanagan hits the line, goes straight through, untouched. Why we're not trying to put more players on like that? One thing I think for us is that we can be a bit too flat, and I don't think we throw that much at people in attack. I think it's all very much we'll hit this man, we'll hit that one. I think it's very predictable in attack, or it has.
Do you think we're scared of losing the game early on? Do you think that could be it? Let's not lose the game in the first half an hour.
One thing I found from that game is we only really looked good when we were attacking the edge with Tuilagi at one side. Russell's side, I don't know if the ball were getting shipped out quick enough, but every time they seemed to be getting caught with the ball. They weren't making that space for anyone on that side to be able to do anything. However, flip it to the other side, obviously when Tuilagi, Hal Salt, I can't remember who played inside of Hal Salt. No. They just seem to be having a little bit more luck with the speed of the ball and getting it across to that side. So one thing I'd like to say is let's just not be as predictable. Let's see if we can work both edges, but have something on that isn't just a one-man pass.
Yeah.
Have your twos, your players, do your drops. A little bit more creativity is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Obviously, just to point out as well, Hewitt's obviously missing. He's picked up a 1-game suspension.
Yeah.
So we're without Hewitt as well, which is another player down just for this game.
Yeah. Might give Billington a chance though, because he's looked good in pre-season.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully if it is Billington who comes in or whatever it may be, yeah, we start where we finish the last game.
Yeah.
Because last thing we want to be doing is going there. It's a good, tight, compact ground. They make a noise, to be fair. It's an hard place to go and play on Friday night as well, so there'll be plenty of people down from Cats.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's hope we start the game a bit better.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, hopefully a positive Friday. Yeah, so we'll move on now to a review of round 2. Before the Super League, we'll look at obviously Hull against Broncos. I think Philly mutually were a fantastic game to watch, wasn't it? I mean, we were both sat there at half time going, okay, nice and easy win. I mean, couldn't believe how easy it was going to be. And then all of a sudden, the last 20 minutes, it just came alive, didn't it?
And that was exactly the same as what we've just been saying with the Wakefield Huddersfield game, is the momentum. So Hull had all the momentum in the first half, and then Brisbane came out in the second half, slowly dug away. And then, to be honest, I thought Hull looked minutes.
Yeah.
I think they still had some errors in the game, like Michael Lewis not finding touch, etc. at the end of the day, they've picked up the trophy. So fantastic news for the Super League, because obviously it puts us on the map. I think it was an absolutely great game.
Yeah.
Again, another tale of two halves.
Yeah, and obviously Michael Lewis enjoyed his night out after, didn't he? But yeah, I think that night out just sums him up at the moment. Yeah, moving on now. Another ding dong game. St Helens 28, Lee 18. That were a result that I think you picked that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I picked that one. Yeah, I was flicking between, because obviously there were a lot of games on. Was it Saturday night? Friday night, and I was flicking between the games, to be honest with you. So we're only catching bits and bobs of it. But yeah, fancied Saints to win that game. The only problem that they've got obviously now is they've picked up injuries as well.
Yeah.
But it was a good performance to go. They've got a monkey off their back as well, right? Because they've beaten a team that they've been able to beat. I can't remember what the record was, but it was them, Wigan, Hull KR.
They struggled against 16 of them. They've struggled against that, and that's why last year probably that's why he lost his job, and that's why they struggled, because they've not been able to beat those teams above them. Yeah,
so they've got the monkey off the back there, and they've got that result. Lomax is obviously out now. But Robertson looked amazing when he went to fullback.
Man of match,
I think. Well, for me anyway. It's just I don't know what to do with their pairings in the half, because I'm not. I think Sailor's just.
I know.
He's just
weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think he holds them. He probably holds the team back. But even though he's a marquee player, it's just a really strange one.
Yeah, and obviously bad news for them with Wellesby as well, because that's looking like 4 months, I think.
Yeah, right? It's a longer term one.
It's a longer term one with his shoulder, so fingers crossed he obviously gets back playing towards the end of the season.
So we'll move on now. Obviously, Leeds York, another game on Friday, the one that you'll be flicking between. 46-14, kind of routine victory for Leeds. Obviously, they've had players that have come back this week, and all of a sudden they've looked like a different side again.
Yeah.
And I think for York, it is going to be one of them seasons where, obviously excluding last week, the top 6 sides, they're probably not going to compete that closely with, unless maybe a night game at home. But I think those sides probably lower down the table is where they'll look to be picking up the points.
I don't know at minutes. I'm a bit lost, because they've done so well, the promoted side, since they've come up, and obviously Bradford showed us up by dismantling Catalan at home.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit scared of my predictions at the moment. Yeah. Obviously, it's not how I expected it to go, and I expected to try and be further up the table, whether it will false up or not. Fingers crossed it's not. But yeah, I think York got humbling, didn't they? With a bit of a realisation that, you went and beat the champions, but not every game's going to be like that.
No.
So, tough result for them, but they'll come back. They showed obviously good signs in the first game, so let's see what happens there. But Leeds, like you say, players back in looking a lot more like themselves.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting game in Vegas now.
I'm going to jump in here just before we do the prediction. I'm going Leeds anyway.
Yeah,
I fancy
you need to if you're predicting before we stop at table. Obviously, Bradford beating Catalan. Obviously, like I said on Friday night when it was going on, I wasn't worried about the loss to Catalan last week until I saw Bradford beating them. Then I was a bit like, ooh, maybe this could be quite interesting actually on Sunday. But yeah, I mean, a great result for Bradford. Obviously, Odsal Super League back there. Bradford fans will absolutely love that, and they seem to create an atmosphere there, even though the stands nowhere near the pitch. It's a weird one. Somehow they managed to create this atmosphere, didn't they?
Yeah, well, obviously they shut behind the goal and they packed both the sides out. So obviously you had your corporate at the back, and then the 2 sides were packed out. So you've got you seated at that side, and then the standing was absolutely rammed.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think there were only 4 or 5, maybe even 2 people under 10,000. So for them to come back, that's absolutely fantastic. I must admit, delighted with that for Super League, because it shows that that's a good addition to the game.
Yeah,
that's what they want to be advertising. Do you know what I mean? They were very clever. The Sky cameras, how they were panning.
Yeah.
It looked like the ground was full of that ground. Obviously holds.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they were really clever how they did it, and fair play, because obviously it makes it look good on the TV. It attracts people into the game. So yeah, looking forward to when we go over there. I think it's in a few weeks. Looking forward to going over there on a Friday night and just experiencing that, because obviously if they can keep them crowds up, and that's going to be really good.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people a lot of people want to go, but a lot of away fans like your Lee, your Warrington, Wigan, stuff like that. There'll be younger people
They've never
that
been.
will never been to that ground, and it will be a good experience. People want to go to a new ground.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah, and then obviously we'll move on to Saturday's fixture. Wigan 34, Hull FC 6. Probably the worst thing to come out of that for Hull FC is not a loss. It's Will Price is out for the season, which is huge for them, I think, moving forward. I think now, obviously I was kind of predicting them to be third, fourth in the league. I think now they've got Price out, I think it's a completely different story.
Yeah, they've struggled, haven't they, the start of the season? Because obviously they got past Bradford, but it was a very, very close game. And then Wigan have torn them apart.
Yeah.
I agree with you, to be honest. I've tipped them to finish high as well.
Yeah.
I've just half got a feeling, and this is very early to change the prediction, but I'll just throw it out there. I don't know if they make the 6 now, because you've got teams like who put just outside Warrington. They look good.
Yeah.
Warrington look good, so I think that they could lose out. It's unfortunate. Whether they'll go out and dip into the transfer market and get someone, I'm not sure. I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Because they must be flying close to cap anyway.
Yeah, you'd think
with
so.
all the players they've gone out and got. So, yeah, tough night for Hull, unfortunately.
Yeah. And obviously Wigan they look like last year was a bit of a kick up the arse. Like,
You've got
what we're doing here. Like, we've just lost absolutely everything. When we've won 4 trophies. We've now lost every single trophy. What are we doing here? We need to kind of book his ideas up, and obviously you've got people like Brad O'Neill's under a full pre-season. He looks like a new player. Sam Waters looks really good. So yeah, they look like they're back to themselves.
Yeah, they lost Wardle, haven't they?
Yeah.
And I can't remember who played centre. I don't even think it was Eckersley. I think Eckersley.
It were Farrell.
Farrell, yeah, but Eckersley looked really, really good.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. They've got that quality that can come in and they move about. They just tend to. If they pick up an injury, they tend to work around it. I mean, if they lose French, then it's a different story, isn't it? Because obviously, any team in the world would miss. Well, maybe not some of the Australians, but
any team in Super League.
Yeah, would miss.
If your main player out of Super League at your team,
yeah,
you're going to miss them out. Yeah, and French is that for Wigan.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think they look really good, and I think they're going to, like you say, they'll pick somewhat up this year, whether it's league leaders. And then going through to grand final or the Challenge Cup, I think they'll pick up a trophy this year. They won't have another season without a trophy.
No, definitely. And then Toulouse beating Castleford, which huge result for Toulouse now. 2-2. They look like they've really taken the Super League well.
Yeah, well, I was reading a stat earlier and I've forgotten it, but they did win. I think it was like
12 rounds. I think
12 rounds to get the 2 wins.
Yeah.
This year they've done it in 2 rounds, which is phenomenal, and no one backed him. And it's a long season, and I don't know if they'll keep it up, but it's a great start for him.
Yeah, it is a long season, and the Bradford fans that are now hammering me on TikTok because of what I've predicted them to do this year. I just remember it is a bit of a long season.
Thing is, as well, you'll never ever know what injuries are going to come. So
no.
Players will get people back, people will lose people, suspensions start coming in as you're getting into
ground will firm up as well, which I think it is a game changer. That as soon as pitches get quicker and those quicker lads can get ball in hand, I think then it
especially with the new rules. Especially with the new rules, because you're thinking like you've got Brad O'Neill or like Danny Walker jumping out at Warrington, and you've got the fast players like Taylor and all the other players. It's Jay Fields. It'll be a good summer, I think.
Yeah, it'll be good. And I think one thing we don't have to worry about this year. I think that there'll be a lot of high scoring games.
Yeah,
I don't think we're going to struggle where there's going to be low scoring games this year.
No, there'll be lots of times.
Yeah, so we'll move on now to the next round of fixtures in Super League. Starting off Thursday night, Wigan at home to League. Should be a tasty game that. I'm gonna go for Wigan on that. Just purely because I think 2 games I've watched them so far, they just look back to themselves at home. I think it'll be a good atmosphere there on Thursday night.
I 100% agree with you. And they lost at home to Lee last year.
Yeah.
And they won't want to do that again.
No.
Matt Pete will be on to them, and I think they'll come out firing. And I'm with you. I predict that to be a Wigan win. And to be honest, I predict it by 10-point plus. To be honest, I think they'll just be too big and strong for them.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a good game to watch that Thursday night. Like those sort of games on a Thursday. Moving on to Friday now. Obviously, we're away at Cass. Huge game, obviously. I'm only ever going to go one way on that. We're going to go for Giants. I'm hoping to make it over there for that game after work. So, yeah, I think, well, I hope this is his first 2 points. I really don't want to be 4 or 5 rounds in and we're still looking at board going, we need to get off the mark. And we've got Hull KR after that twice, once in League and once in Challenge Cup. So I think we really need that 2 points just to kind of give us a bit of a confidence boost, because obviously pre-seasons looked really good. We've then gone into season, lost 2. I think we need that 2 points to get us on board.
Yeah, 100% agree. And obviously, they're going to have to travel back from America. They'll be having to adjust. It'll be a big game, it'll be a physical game for them against Leeds. So, Hull KR, obviously, I'm talking about here. So, I feel if we go away, beat Cass, get that momentum, get that buzz back, which we kind of had about pre-season, and then we're going to Hull KR, maybe have another off day, or they're just a bit tired from the trip. Then,
But we need that 2 points.
Yeah, there's no. I don't see that happening if we don't get that momentum from Cass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then another one on Friday, Hull FC at home to York, which, I mean, yeah, take some balls to pick York, doesn't it? It does take some balls to pick York. But yeah, you go on that one first.
I'm gonna go Hull, because they're at home. They have still got a lot of quality. Obviously, we're tipping them to finish in the 6, and I know they've lost Price, but they've still got a lot of other good players. And I think once their players get in, they'll start to gel as well. So I'm gonna go with Hull on that.
Yeah, I'm going to join you on that. I just think, yeah, I can't pick York. Just I think night game, Hull at home. Everything adds up for Hull in there, doesn't it? Really.
They need a bounce back though as well from the Wigan game.
Yeah. Saturday's fixtures now. Warrington at home to Wakefield. Yeah, I'm going to pick Warrington on this one. I think they looked superb against St Helens. They've had a week's break, and if I'm being honest, the way that I looked at Wakey, they looked good, but again, once that tide turns and the pressure starts building, we did actually cut through them quite easily. So, and I think Warrington, the players that they've got, their backs, I think that they should have some joy.
Yeah, I fancy Warrington as well. I think Wakey, there were parts of Wakey's game are really impressed with.
Sinfield looked really good.
Sinfield played really well. McMeekan, solid as ever, what you'd expect. I really liked Jazz Tavenga, or you'll have to correct me if I said the name wrong, but the loose who came on for them.
I think is that Scott Smith or something that's like
Cameron Scott, and he was phenomenal. That's like never ever seen him play so well. Like, so there's parts there where I think they'll be good, but I just think Warrington will have too much for them. Yeah. Overall.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that having a week off, it does make a difference, especially in the early stages of the season. And then we've got Catalan at home to St Helens, which I'm going to pick Catalan on this. I don't know why, but I've just got this feeling that Catalan are going to be that side this year, which is why I've got them finishing just around 6, and I've fancy them to do something like the Challenge Cup, because I just think they're that side where they're going to be up and down. They've got some really good players. They've got a real good spine, and they are going to pick up some wins where you think, yeah, how have they done that? Especially they've gone and just lost to Bradford, which in theory that should have never happened. So St Helens have just won this week, but I've just got a feeling that, yeah, Catalan are going to be in that up and down side, and I think they're going and win this game.
I've like literally taken words off. I was going to go Catalan as well. I think they're obviously missing Lomax. There's no Wellsbury. They're going to have to. Sorry, Nene McDonald went out as well.
Did, yeah.
And they've just lost some players, and I don't know how the readjustments are going to work.
Yeah.
So for me, I think Catalan, they're going to have their asses kicked by Tompkins this week. He's going to be saying that's not a Catalan standard. That's not how Toby Sexton wants to be. It's not how Lewis Don going to be going away and losing. So I think they'll have a bit of a fight back this week. And for me, I think they put 12 points, a winning margin of over 12 points on St Helens.
It's a huge game. A huge game. I think this Vegas trip, I think for Super League and NRL, I think it's a really good event. I'll be making sure I'm watching some of those games, even if that's kind of watching them the next day on replay. I'm going to go Leeds. I fancy Leeds. Yeah, so it's a trip, and I just think that game for Hull KR against Broncos, I think it'll have taken a lot out of them. Whereas Leeds quite a comfortable win against York. I've just got a feeling they're going to win that one.
Yeah, I think obviously Lytton were real wanting before and still putting in an amazing performance.
Apparently they'd not trained all week, and then he rocks up and plays man at the match, and
But-
I lose out 180 quick because Michael Lewis didn't get man at the match.
But he was blown out of his arse, and I think they've obviously lost Hadley as well from that.
Well, apparently he's going over, and apparently
Could
he
potentially
could potentially play. Wild.
what bit as well. But for me, I'm still going to go for Leeds as well. I mentioned it earlier in the show that I just fancy him. I think it'll take him a lot out of him. The win. Obviously, they'll celebrate as well. They'll have had a few beers. Pubs at all. You know what I mean? So
Mouthing off as usual.
So they'll have obviously had that, and then they've had the travel on top of it. And the one thing I will give Hull KR though is that they're primed ready for the big occasion now, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've won the Challenge Cup, they won the grand final last year, so they'll be ready for it. But I think it'll be a really, really tight game. Leeds did them last year twice, so
Yeah.
I fancy Leeds to do it again. I think their style of how they play counteracts how Hull play, so I'm going to go with Leeds as well on that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, and then obviously final game of the week. Quite an interesting game. Bradford Bulls on to Toulouse.
Do you want me to go first? Because I think we've picked every team the same so far, haven't we?
We have, yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna go Bradford
yeah.
because they're at home. The crowd, Toulouse obviously going to have to travel over, and yeah, I just fancy Bradford to win this one. Because I think I said in one of the earlier pods, I think Odsal will be a tough place for people.
Yeah.
So I think they'll make it a tough place if they can get the similar sort of crowd to what they did this week, which they've got every chance now because they played some really good rugby last week and it were enjoyable. So they've done what they needed to do on that first game back. So yeah, I'm going to go Bradford on that one and to end Toulouse's winning run.
Yeah. Well, I'll go the opposite just because we've gone the same on everyone. I'll go for Toulouse. Obviously, they're 2 out of 2. 3 out of 3 is a big ask for any other promoted team. One thing that will be interesting to see on TV is can Bradford try and create that same atmosphere on a Sunday afternoon that they've created on a Friday night. It'd be interesting to see if they can kind of create that. And again, just interesting to see kind of how their attendance does it stay at that level. Obviously, Toulouse aren't going to bring many fans over like Catalan. So it'd be interesting to see on Sunday afternoon if they can kind of recreate that at Odsal. But yeah, I mean, Bradford Bulls, I mean, I'm kind of changing my opinion on. I hate the ground and I don't like the look of it. But if a club's got 9,500 people watching Super League at their ground, they're a great addition to the league.
Yes, that is especially just to point out. Obviously, there won't have been the Catalan fans there, so like, you know, I think when they play Leeds at home, 15,000 is not unrealistic expectation. And like, how good's that for Super League that they can have a round and say, look, Leeds Bradford, the old rivalry, it's good for the game. It's just good for the game. It's just another story. It just builds the game.
That's what Super League needs.
Yeah,
what we need.
And obviously, obviously it's another derby for us as well. So it'd be nice for us to go over. Just hopping over to Bradford. So yeah. Overall, I don't mind at the back, to be honest. I think that opening weekend, good on them. Fair play.
Yeah, that rounds up today's podcast. So yeah, feel free to get your comments in and your predictions. Let us know what you think, whether you agree or not. Let's hear why. And don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Every bit of support does go a long way.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll catch you next week.
Cheers, guys.